There are stories that speak to the heart, softly at first, like a whisper, and then, all at once, they echo through your soul like thunder. This is one of those stories, a tale not of tragedy, but of grace, not of endings, but of meaning. It begins with a patient and a doctor, strangers brought together by circumstance, but held together by something deeper, something words cannot quite capture. But this isn't just a letter, it's a confession, a thank you, a goodbye, and something more. Stay until the end. Because like life itself, this story holds a truth hidden in silence, waiting to be heard. Dear Dr. Reyes, you told me once that medicine isn't about fighting death, it's about honoring life. I didn't understand what that meant until the day you told me I was dying. It wasn't a surprise. I'd known it in my bones, long before the scans confirmed it. But hearing it from you, in your voice, calm and steady, made it real. Strangely, I didn't cry that day. You did. You tried to hide it, but I saw it. The way your throat tightened, the way you blinked twice and cleared your voice before saying, "I'll be with you until the end." That's when everything changed. From that moment on, you were no longer just my doctor. You became something else, my confidant, my anchor, my friend. And I know you'll never admit it, but I think, maybe, just maybe, I became something more to you too. Do you remember the night you stayed past midnight just to sit by my bedside because I was afraid to sleep? You brought that terrible vending machine coffee and 2 crossword books. We didn't solve a single puzzle. We just talked about music, about faith, about the things we never got to do. And then you told me about your wife, how she passed. Cancer, too. Your voice cracked when you said her name. Sophia. And for a moment, I saw your heart. Not your white coat, not your stethoscope, but the man beneath it all. The man who understood grief, not because he studied it, but because he had lived it. That night, we weren't doctor and patient. We were just 2 people facing what we'd both lost and what I was about to lose. That's when I started writing this letter, a little each night, in case I didn't get to say goodbye. The nurses say I might not have much time left. I can feel it too. There's a stillness in my body, not fear, not pain, just stillness. And in this silence, all I want to do is thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me, for the mornings you brought fresh flowers to brighten a sterile room, for the days you fought with insurance companies so I could stay one more night, for the prayers you whispered when you thought I was asleep. But most of all, thank you for loving me. Yes, I said it. And no, I don't mean love in the fairy tale sense. I mean the kind of love that chooses to stay, that listens, that sees. You loved me in the way a soul recognizes another, in the way you held my hand during my last seizure, in the way you said, "You are not alone." And because of that, I'm not afraid anymore. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. But please know, I left peacefully, with a full heart, and you to thank. Forever your grateful patient, Amelia Rios. He reads the last line again, and again, until the words blur. Then he opens the folded paper that Amelia tucked inside. A photo. It's a woman, maybe in her late 20s, smiling, radiant, and next to her is a younger doctor, Reyes. His arm is around her shoulder. They're laughing. His breath catches. He turns the photo over, written on the back in Amelia's handwriting. You once saved my mother's life. Now, you saved mine. He stares at the wall, stunned. It rushes back. 2 decades ago, a woman with ovarian cancer. Sophia, not his wife. A patient. A case that haunted him when she didn't make it. She had a daughter then, a little girl who always sat in the waiting room, coloring quietly. Her name was Amelia, He didn't recognize her at first. The years had changed her, but she had known him all along. She chose him, not just for treatment, but for closure, for something deeper. He sinks into his chair. The silence is deafening. Tears fall, not just for her, but for the years he never forgave himself, and for the peace she gave him in her goodbye. Sometimes we don't realize the impact we've had on someone's life until they're gone. Sometimes we carry guilt for what we couldn't fix, blind to what we did heal, and sometimes the goodbye we dread the most becomes the one that sets us free. Amelia's letter wasn't just for closure. It was a return, a full circle, a healing for both patient and doctor. Because love doesn't always look like romance. Sometimes it looks like compassion, like presence, like a silent goodbye that says everything. If this story moved you, let it remind you that we all carry the power to touch someone's life, sometimes without even knowing it. And if you're a healer, in any form, never underestimate the gift of simply showing up. Because you never know when your kindness becomes someone's peace. This has been The Silent Goodbye, a terminal patient's letter to their doctor. Thank you for being here. If you were moved by this story, share it. Let the message ripple outward. And most of all, love deeply. Listen carefully. And when it's time, say goodbye with grace. Until next time, take care of each other.